Okay, so I'm going to first say if you guys see the pause symbol, pause, go on to the rest of the presentation. There are no pause symbols, but I always start with this. So the last video didn't have audio, and Mr. Beuthin found why. When he has some kind of speaker box plugged in thing for the overhead projector, so you hear stuff over, it doesn't work with the computer, and I can't record audio. Good thing I found out now after recording 2 8-minute videos, and so, but enough of me griping. So if you guys didn't know, this one was actually had another video made where I posted with no audio, but we're going to go to the objective. The student will understand definitions and vocabulary. This will be done through presentation and a classroom activity. So right now, definitions. That's what we're doing today. You guys are going to be like, oh, I hate definitions. I hate English. Why are we doing English in a math class? Definitions will not be that bad today. Well, why I want to be that bad today? Well, first, what do I need? What do I want? And what do I need? That's not a question for, like, what does the teacher want? That's what you want. What do you, meaning I, meaning you, want? And what do you need? I actually should say, what do I want and what do I need? So, like right now, I'm going to tell you what you want in a minute. You don't want this. The textbook definition, the term of a fraction, usually above the number line, that indicates the number of equal parts that are to be added together. The divided is placed over the divisor. So that is like textbook, like college. No, don't worry about that. What you need to know, it's the top number of fraction. That's all you need to know. And I gave you an example. 3 over 5, that number that says pointed, this number is the numerator. So in your notes somewhere, somebody either put numerator, top number of a fraction, or numerator, draw the picture I just did. Here's another one. Textbook college definition. Arithmetic. The term of a fraction usually written under the line that is indicated by the equal parts of which represented. This is the unit that is divided, divisor from dictionary.com. Don't worry about any of that. What I want you to do is write down something that will help you remember what is denominator. Denominator and D, both start with D. That's a way to remember it, so you might want to put that in your notes because they start with the same letter. But it's the bottom number of fraction. 2 over 7. The arrow pointing to the 7, that's the denominator. So put something in there that will make you understand it, like prime number. I'm going to read the textbook definition, and just kind of after you're going to hear what I'm going to say, but it's a positive number that is not divisible without remainder, but an integer except for one itself. And just forget that. Okay, what you need to know, a prime number. I gave you some examples, so you should probably be writing down those examples, 3, 5, 7, 11, 13. It's a number that can only be divided by 1 itself. All those numbers, if you look on a multiplication table, the only way you can get 3 is 1 times 3 or 3 times 1. The only way you can get 5 would be 5 times 1 or 1 times 5. The only way you can get 7 is 7 times 1, 1 times 7. That's what it means, a number that can only be divided by 1 in itself. Next one, composite number. Textbook definition, a number that is multiplied by at least 2 numbers other than 1 itself and 1. Okay, put it this way. You guys know what factor is. We did that the other day. That's where you can break it down into multiple, this times this times. Okay, it's a number that can be factored. It's not a prime number. So even I gave you some examples. 4, because you can do 1 times 4. You can do 2 times 2. You can do 4 times 1. 6, 1 times 6, 6 times 1, 2 times 3. So basically you can do more than just 1 in itself. So just not a prime number. I gave you some examples, like 15 would be 1 times 15, 15 times 1, 3 times 5. So improper fraction, textbook definition, a fraction having a numerator greater than the denominator from dictionary.com. Okay, this is, again, you got to first know what a numerator is, and you got to know what a denominator is, and you got to know, okay, even better, Mr. Beuthin definition. A fraction is where an improper fraction, a fraction where the bigger number is on top. That will help you a lot remember improper fraction better than dictionary.com. So improper fraction where the bigger number is on top. And I gave you an example. You can even draw an example in your notes. Pretty easy, not too bad. Mixed number, again. Textbook definition, a number consisting of a whole number, a fraction, or decimal as, example, 4 and 1/2 or 4.5 from dictionary.com. Mr. Beuthin's awesome one. A fraction with a big number in front. That's all you need to know. I gave you an example. And also, so you remember that big number is their whole number, the amount of holes we have. So we have 3 whole pizzas and a 2/3 of a pizza. But I like my definition better than theirs. Definitions are for you to remember what we're working on, what skills being taught. So let's go to the next one. It's after mixed number. Factor. Okay, factor is one of those things like, okay, you're going to start getting big words in here. One or two or more numbers of algebraic expression or like where multiplying together products are given, produce a given product, a divisor. Okay, 6 and 3 are factors of 18. I'm like, oh, well, okay. Watch the last video and take notes. A divisor is actually just two numbers that can be multiplied or divided together to make another number. So 20, the factor would be 2 times 10. Or, even though there's not a 4 in there because Mr. Beuthin forgot to put it in and he's too lazy to remake the video, 4 times 5 would be a factor of 20. So it's just basically what times what equals 20. So 4 times 5, okay. So inverse. I'm not even going to go into that definition because in the 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, in the first 6 words, an element of an algebraic system. How many times have you ever even heard any of those words in the same sentence with Mr. Beuthin? Maybe you might have heard element and system with video games, but not all those words together. But I'm going to make it so much easier. Instead of reading all that stuff, that's like French or some of you guys do speak Spanish, but that's like French or Japanese or Chinese. Okay, even better. Inverse fraction, definition. Flipping a fraction over. So much easier. And I even get an example, and you can have the example right there. 5/18 or 5 over 18, the inverse fraction, well, the inverse would be 8 over 5. That's just what I wanted to put. This whole thing, you should have been putting stuff that's going to help you on a test, or you on a quiz, or you on an assignment. Don't help me. I've already done all this. I still can barely read. That's why half the stuff sounds like gibberish, but I've already done the math. Time for you guys to do the math so you can remember what you are doing on a test. So that was the whole thing. So let's recap. Definitions and notes are for you. That's why I don't grade you on, oh, you don't have enough here, you're missing something there. What's going to help you, I've said you a lot recently, get a passing score on the test. So if you need to go back and maybe take a little bit more so you can understand, or maybe you took enough so you'll know. Maybe you know improper fraction, you don't need to write anything. Maybe you know denominator because someone else taught you a little trick. It's just what are you going to need? So on the test, if you see the word convert improper fraction to mixed number, you can pull out your notes. Oh, that's what I mean. That's why Mr. Beuthin had me write it, so I can help myself later. See the objective. The student will understand definitions and vocabulary. This will be done through presentation and classroom activity. That's it. So it wasn't too painful. Have a good day, guys.